The goal of creating these daily movement practices, free of judgment and personal preferences, is for you to observe your imagination, intuition, feelings through your unique movements in order to access your creativity. These daily movement practices are designed to support you in transforming conditions that make creating and caring difficult. By building onto the complex cognitive, emotional, and movement skills you already have, these sessions support you internally and externally so you can be you. Inside your imagination, memory, observations lies this work. You already know it. It is not so much about learning, but about receiving, because nothing is constant. Every movement is about change. We honor this in these sessions. Sitting in a comfortable chair, remove your shoes and either work barefooted or with socks on. Sit towards the edge of your chair and feel the soles of your feet on the ground. Close your eyes and remember to keep them closed throughout the entire session. And take in this delicious moment of freedom. Deepen your breath. Breathe right down into your toes. Allow your feet to fidget and your toes. Squeeze, move, and find a comfortable place for your feet to rest on the floor. And take a moment to remember the memories you have of walking barefooted. Remember your physical history of any bad cuts, broken bones, torn muscles. Observe how your body is responding to these memories. This session is about your feet. But don't forget the rest of your body. Lengthen your spine, move back and forth on your sit bones, and find your feet grounded on the floor. And take several deep breaths. You will need your body to support everything your feet might do. Do not limit your feet to just your feet. Include your lower legs and ankles as well. As the world changes, so can our prancing, our tiptoeing, our waltzing. This session is about how we can make positive changes in and for our feet. Find home, a still, comfortable, breathing place with your feet resting. Is there a difference between your 2 feet? Structurally, physically, emotionally, how would you describe their differences? Are you resting more on the outside of one foot? Is one foot turned out, open? Are you more on the balls of one foot? Do you feel more tension in the toes of the other? Is one arch higher, lower than the other? Are the knees pulling in different directions? What is similar in both feet? And by noticing, do you feel like you need to move? Go ahead, move. Ask your left foot to dance out its personal story. What is your first response? What if you asked your left foot to move in all ways possible for self-care? What are you noticing? Are you receiving any benefits from this dance? Give it time, because you may have never given your left foot so much time and space. Allow your left foot to demonstrate your culture, history. Listen. Rest when you get tired and feel the difference between the 2 feet. Be here. Be real. No judgment or distractions. No set agendas. Now, could you have your right foot dance out its personal story? What are you noticing? Any similarities? Is it easier or more difficult? Do you need to move slower, faster? What is your internal rhythm like with your right foot compared to your left foot? Are you feeling fatigued more? Less? Rest whenever you need to. You can never imagine your body language until you experience it. What are the big differences possibly in speed, movement, flow between the 2 feet as they rest on the floor? How do they feel? How different, similar? If you press up to the balls of your feet and back down to your heels, what happens? How does this happen? What resistance do you feel? Why is this? Back and forth using repetitive movement. Does one foot take more direct of a pathway up and down and the other more indirect? Alternating one foot then the other, almost like you're prancing, but in slow motion. You can go up to the ball of the foot or continue up to the tips of your big toes. Imagine this movement as being delicious. Observe your intentions, feelings. Take care to truly explore the difference between your 2 feet and possibly why. How varied are the dynamics of flow, rhythm, weight in the feet? Do this until you discover something new. Can you work towards doing this movement with the least amount of effort and is as efficient as possible? Be mindful of each individual foot. Allow both feet to move, to create, to dance. How do they wear themselves in everyday life? Do they feel more similar or not? Now notice rotational differences of the individual ankles, rolling them in and out and around, left and right ankles moving in the same direction and in different directions. Any tension in your toes? Evolve your movement vocabulary. Notice whether your calf muscles are pulling too much in or out. Can you clear away any debris emotionally, physically, mentally in order to move? Then rest, both feet on the floor. Listen carefully and discover your new language. What do your feet have to tell you? How does resting feel now? Does their movement bring you to a different kind of nourishment? Come back home, find your breath. If you ever get lost, always return home. Listen to your internal rhythm. Can you hear your heartbeat? Feel your blood flow. How does your nervous system feel? Now, let your left foot rest on the floor. Ask your right foot to curl the toes under and flare them out and up. You decide how slow you want to take this movement, how little or how much tension, grasping and extending. On a tension scale of 1 to 10, use a 6 to do this movement. This might mean backing off some or adding a bit more energy. Over and over, allow this movement to teach you more about you. Notice when fatigue starts to happen. Notice if the big toe is working more than the little toe. When curling under, what is your arch doing? When you begin to tire, stop, rest, reset, and reflect. It is your body that you are wanting to understand more about. Notice the difference between the right and left now. To foster more awareness, as you move, try to become less reliant on your old habits. Let's repeat the same movement on the left foot, curling the toes of your left foot under and then flexing the toes up and spreading them wide, pulling and curling underneath and then pressing out and extending up. Repeat until you begin to feel fatigued. Then stop, rest, and feel. How do the 2 feet feel resting on the floor? Notice how different they feel now than when you first started. And one last movement, as if you had nervous legs, vibrate your heels up and down, faster than fast. Just your heels, go, go. Just let this vibration travel through your body, even into the hip and spine. Bounce them fast, but with as little of effort as possible. Efficiently, move fast. When you become tired, rest. Feel the difference and compare feet and legs. How does your body feel now? Take time to bring the breath back in. Lengthen your spine, focusing outward into life. How do your feet feel? Your toes, ankles, knees. How does home feel now? Were you responsible for how you moved? Rest and reflect. Here you go.